Hey there, Toonami faithful, and welcome back aboard Toonami Absolution, where we talk about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. Once again, we are your hosts. My name is Alex.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John. Stan Lee presents The Condor, or El Condor, or The Condor, depending on your version. Released directly to DVD, your mark of quality, on March 20th, 2007. Toonami got this March 24th, 2007, so like a couple of days after the release, and showed it as part of their 10-year anniversary celebration. But weirdly, if you watch it on Toonami, they changed the billing, because it was Toonami and Stan Lee present The Condor. Yes, they're taking equal billing for some reason. I personally wouldn't take billing on the Condor if I was you, but
So we gotta ask, John, why this one?
I have a very artistic and well thought out reason for picking this. I did not forget it was my week, go to bed on Sunday, then wake up in a cold sweat, realizing I'd forgotten, dive out of bed, open our playlist, and pick the first thing I saw we hadn't done. And there are very few Toonami movies starting with A or B. Thus, we end up with Condor. Ironically, because of life, we pushed this recording back a couple of weeks, meaning once again, I have been ruined by my own decisions. Because this movie is cack.
Yeah.
Christmas. This ruined everything. So, for the context, this is Manga Productions was Stan Lee's company he made to make things outside of Marvel. They did a lot of straight to DVD movies. This isn't part of the MCU. Condor was never a Marvel thing. However, this is in the same universe as another series called Mosaic, which released in 2007. So it does link to that, and we see there's a couple of characters who appear in Mosaic in this. You don't need to understand Mosaic to understand this. Basically, Stan Lee's thing was DVD is the hot new thing. We're going to start releasing stuff direct to DVD because we can get it out quicker, and I can sort of not be Marvel, but then he makes this.
Yeah, it makes you realize how instrumental Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko were to Marvel's
Yeah.
There were a couple of weird Stan Lee productions coming out in the early 2000s. There was one that starred Pamela Anderson as a cartoon, if I'm correct.
Not barbed wire, yes.
Barbarella or something like
No,
that?
I can't remember what it was, but I did see that. There was also the one with the girl, the pole dancer. I think he was
The
doing.
stripper one, yeah.
Stripperella.
Yeah, that was
Stripperella, that's what I'm conflating it with.
that was also terrible. I have a very distinct memory of getting that on DVD at some point and watching it and just being like, "This is really bad."
I think I saw it on VH1.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that tracks. I think it was cheap as hell to license, like Stanley's The Condor,
Like Stan Lee's The
Yeah.
Condor.
and they
I
probably aired it. Yeah.
I think you can really tell how heavy everything goes on Stan Lee's of how little faith anyone had in this, to the point of it being like, it's the Marvel guy. Remember, he wrote good things once.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because 2007, I'm not sure if you're younger, you may not realize, but before the Disney buyout, Marvel was in the shitter. Like 2007 is peak. Marvel is circling the drain.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Spider-Man. For every Spider-Man 3, you've also got Ghost Rider, which came out around 2007.
Hey,
Um,
I'm gonna
Go
throw this
ahead,
out.
say it. Just say it. Just say it.
I'm
I
gonna
know
throw
what
this
you're
out
gonna
here.
say.
Just one thing. Just one thing I'm gonna throw out here. Ghost Rider 2 is very watchable.
I like it. I like it for the extreme close-ups of Kieran Hin's face whenever something goes wrong for Satan.
Oh, 100%. It's great.
Oh, okay. I want that. I like that as a pull quote. That should just be on the post.
Just it's very watchable.
Extreme close-ups of Kieran Hill's face.
Yeah. There's a scene where Nick Cage's Johnny Blaze pisses in fire. I'm aware. I've seen the
Oh yeah,
film.
super watchable. But yeah, it was a rough time for Marvel around. Like I think Daredevil came out a little bit before this too.
That was like 2003. I mean 2007, that's right before Punisher Warzone, or right around the same time Punisher Warzone comes out. Basically, if you're not Spider-Man or the X-Men, you're not having a great time at the movies. If you go to because it's 2008, it's the first is Iron Man and Incredible Hulk. Everyone forgets that came out like the following month.
Oh my
Um
God, it did. You're right.
yeah.
I forgot that.
Because this is also the era where Marvel is selling itself off piecemeal. This is why, if you remember the whole thing of why Spider-Man wasn't in the MCU for years, it's because Sony brought the rights.
Yeah.
Literally, they were like, we will sell Spider-Man as its own separate thing. It's the only thing that makes money. This is why famously Universal have their Marvel Land. They brought it for pennies on the dollar and have the funniest contract in the world, which basically says, Disney, as long as we keep this place open, you can never take the rights from us. Because Marvel were that desperate, they would sign a contract for. They were like a Gynax with Evangelion, basically. It's like Evangelion bucket, will the check cash? Of course.
Yeah, the part of it is I do think they are kind of building the contingency for eventually losing that particular island of adventure because they're going whole hog on like the Epic universe now with Super Mario, like Nintendo Land and Dark Universe. Dark Universe lives again in theme park form.
It does. So finally,
man, look at us trying so hard not to talk about the Condor.
So Wilmer Valderrama. So let's talk about post That 70s Show Wilmer Valderrama.
I hate to say it, he's terrible in this. I don't understand. So we should probably talk about the plot. So basically, the Condor is he's a skateboarding cool kid. His parents do genetic experiments. His parents die in the funniest car crash known to man because they're evil business friend. And then his sister makes him, not his sister, she's not his sister, but she acts like his sister, we'll get onto this, makes him a robot suit so he can basically he's effectively Spider-Man and Iron Man in the most basic way possible.
But he's kind of a ripoff of Jaime Reyes, in a way.
Kind of. But
he would have just been introduced at this point, right? Because Jaime Reyes was introduced during Infinite Crisis, which is 2005, 2006.
Yeah, so Jaime would have just come out around this point.
Yeah, it's almost like they rushed this out to get it out before a Jaime Reyes anything.
I would believe that, because I'm not sure what the sort of Tony's character is meant to be. Is he meant to be this detached skater punk? Is he meant to just be a dickhead? Because Valderrama shows no emotion in any scenes. There are a couple of lines which I'm convinced must be from a table read. Because there's the bit where like his sister puts the boot on him, which injects him with a load of needles, and he goes, "Somebody stop her! She's putting robots in me." And it's just like, don't think that needs a bit of emotion there. Maybe a yelp of pain. Maybe anything.
Also, the emphasis on skater culture in 2007. I mean, all due respect to Stan Lee and Marv Wolfman, who wrote the screenplay for this, and of course, Wolfman's done great things in the comic book, and he wrote, some episodes of Transformers Beast Wars.
Yes, he did.
It feels like it was like a Terminator 2 portrait of a teenager.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite things about this is they clearly don't know how skateboarding works, because we see them at skateboarding tournaments. The first thing we see is apparently a race where you are allowed to knock each other off, which, no. Then the next round is a bowl tournament, which apparently is graded on points, but we never see what that is. And then at the end, him and Z-Man have a race, but they're both doing tricks, which you wouldn't do if you're racing. Why? You want to be on the ground, not in the air again. But then apparently we have sort of our fake out villain is Z-Man, who basically says outright, "Oh, I'm a heel." So it's like, okay, so skateboarding runs on wrestling kayfabe now, and he's clearly it's a Macho Man kind of riff they're going for, but it's like, even like skateboarding doesn't have kayfabe, and kayfabe was dead in wrestling by this point. Like, we're in the 2000s, where Stone Cold is retired at this point.
Yeah, it's just
clearly this inspired Skate the Infinity.
Yeah,
I mean, even that's slightly more realistic skateboarding than this. I love when she reveals his like electric skateboard, his girlfriend, that she says the two skateboarding terms, ollie and mute grab, but says them so quickly in a very clear, like, I'm not entirely sure if this is how you pronounce them, so I'm just going to say them really quickly and hope nobody notices, which is what I do.
So, if I may, let me put this one to the audience, or put this
to the council.
To the council. Stan Lee's The Condor or Tony Hawk's Boom Boom Sabotage?
Boom Boom Sabotage is funnier.
I'm gonna have to pick, because okay, I've said this before. It is better if something is going to be bad, it can't be boring.
Yeah.
And this movie has so much boring stuff in it. And some of it is the acting, and some of it is just I there was this weird thing happening in early 2000s animation with this like washed out semi like Matrix inspired color palette that is just so it's like there's a thing that's like it's inspired a little bit by that Aeon Flux coloring, but it doesn't have the chutzpah to really go for it, and it's just kind of dull. And that's a bigger sin to me than being bad.
Yeah, the same for me. And I think the thing with this is you can so clearly see with the Condor what they were trying to do, and it's all stuff Stan Lee's done better before. Like they try and play sort of Tony as a Spider-Man character, but he's a rich kid who hasn't ever wanted for anything, so that doesn't work for him. They try and give him like sort of a Iron Man thing, but they don't really use it enough. Like my big thing about this is there's a lot of bits in this film I like the idea of. I like armored heroes. I like the idea of a skateboarding. You could do a lot. He should fight like Jackie Chan. Like he should be flipping the board around and pulling it back in. He doesn't ever do that. He uses the board as a shield once and then just strikes someone in the face the second time. Like, this is a really cool weapon. Like, why isn't he like sort of rider kicking down with the board attached to hit someone in the face? You've made your villain have a mask so they can be hit in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not to belabor the Jaime Reyes point, but like to kind of belabor the Jaime Reyes point. Like you have two characters who have that similar Latina background. You have like, and that apparently I did a little Wikipediaing. This might be the first superhero movie with a Hispanic character at the helm, and that kind of sucks. Like
they claim that in the marketing. It's certainly, I think, the first mainstream American superhero movie with a Hispanic hero. There were depends how you define superhero.
It depends, but but not to belabor. What makes Jaime so interesting as a character, like what makes him work as Blue Beetle, is that he like his family knows his superhero stuff going on because he wants to protect them. Jaime has a really great character. He builds a relationship with his scarab. There's so much more that can be done with this kind of character. And again, Wilmer Valderrama just does not care even a second throughout this entire thing. And I admittedly when I was watching it, I was like, is that the guy from that 70s show? And then I was like, oh crap, it is. It is the guy from that 70s show. He's not as funny as he is on that.
No, now he's on one of the CSI or one of the
He's still working?
He's on one of the Law and Orders, I think.
Even after dating Demi Lovato when she was 17 and he was 29?
There's a lot of Law and Orders. The bar goes slowly down.
Yeah, there's also a lot of like Wilmer Valderrama dating history that kind of is eyebrow raising. Anyway,
let's put it this way: I opened his Wikipedia page up for this episode. I was that bored. I was going to like, what can I find for content in this episode? And I saw some of his stuff. I was like, this is terrifying and not funny. Also, and then me, I was like, I'm going to go back and add in the bits where I said he's crap now because I don't feel so bad about it.
Yeah.
Because I would say I don't think anyone could have made bits of this script interesting, but he somehow makes a bad script even worse. It's just, yeah. I want to bring up my favorite character from this, though. Spoiler alert: the villain Valeria, who is also Taipei, who is our kind of armored squid girl assassin.
Yeah,
I love her because she's basically like a Bond girl from a Connery era Bond film, and all of her lines are sexual innuendo. Like her first thing is she just dives on this guy and starts kissing him. And like, I get what they're trying to say. Oh, he's a young man. Of course, he's going to be easily swayed by the fairer sex. But she takes it to the extreme level, and she appears at his parents' funeral and starts doing it. She appears in a hospital and starts doing it. It's like, lady, calm down. I was especially thrown. And this might be me, but I had real problems telling people's ages in this show because I thought Valeria was in her 40s. At first, because she has like the mom bob, like the nice jumper at first. I was like, oh, she's gonna be the same age as his mom. No, apparently she's a young woman who just dresses like a mom. And so when they started kissing, I was like, this feels a bit problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even articulate what I'm trying to articulate. I can't
You
even
know
like.
who voices Valeria too, right?
No, I've forgotten.
That's Mary Elizabeth McGlynn. She gets dragged into everything.
Wow, I kind of admire her for never turning down a paycheck.
It's also probably why she sounds so much older. Like, I agree with you. She feels older, but Mary Elizabeth McGlynn has that, like, really intense, smoky voice that you're not going to hear on a woman that age.
It's also just weird that like there is a romance subplot in this film. Like we have Tony and Valeria, then Sammy, who is kind of his family's adopted ward, falls in love with the heel, and then they fall at the end. There's no chemistry between any of these characters. Like having Tony and Sammy get together at the end just felt wrong. It's like because he has been an unrepented asshole to her the entire film. It's like, girl, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like it really felt like that whole thing felt like someone told like Stan, like, you need to have a Mary Jane to the Spider-Man. And he's like, what's the one girl we have? Shield. Well, we can't, we're killing off Valeria, so it's gonna be her. So well,
But
mm.
Valeria might not be dead. She might be getting she might
Oh
be getting
yeah.
thrown in the pit with Ra's al Ghul.
That's really so we've missed the main. So the main plot of this is his parents make this weird headband that fucks your DNA and makes you really sort of it's kind of hulky berserker forms you, and that's what the villains are trying to sell to terrorists who are nice, racially diverse terrorists from different countries. So we're not referencing a specific group. But yeah, at the end, Valeria has her Disney villain death. She dies off a thing. But then we immediately cut to her in a hospital with two really Chinese stereotypes, like really bad.
Mm.
Going, say, I was really confused by that because surely isn't her being alive should be the post credits? Like that should be at the end as like the stinger of like, oh, she survived. But we do it after, then go back to a normal scene.
Yeah.
Like who fished her out of there? Because the timing, because the next scene happens about a day after from how it's set up. So that means someone like just quickly ran over, grabbed her, and ran her down to like the back alley doctor.
Yeah.
There's no logic to this film, and it hurts me.
It does. It's rough, man.
It,
Like
there
it's rough.
there is a part of me that feels like some of this was trying to ape off of the success of stuff like Static Shock, which had come out before, and it just can't grab it, and I find that really kind of like it's kind of it feels bad because you know that there's like the bones of something that could work here.
Yeah, I mean, like the skateboarding hero is should work. There's a really cool, but there's so many like dangling threads they don't do enough with.
No, it's a bunch of like hodgepodge of what they think a modern superhero story needs and what they think kids will connect with in the year of our Lord 2007. It's a weird hodgepodge of ideas, none of which take off. Um yeah, just
Like
buddy, it just
for
sucks.
me, the most damning thing is we have the bit with the boot where he has his like prosthetics that nanobot you,
Yeah.
and they do a bit near the end where they go, oh, it causes you to basically go mad. Your DNA gets warped and it causes damage to your body. That's
Yeah.
what's killing the other guys. But now he's got it, so that means if he powers them up too much, he's going to die. And I was like, okay, cool. We're going to do like either a berserker mode for him, where the other guys have to try and pull him back, or and I like that idea. He can save people, but he's got to not lose himself. Kind of
Mhm.
like how we have that with Goku sometimes, or it's going to be we're going to do a fake out death for him. But no, that never comes up. It's like he just fights and wins. It's like, oh, so why do we have this like 5 seconds of peril when we're not going to cash out? When that would make him interesting as a hero. Because there's a whole thing with this is that we make him into this disabled hero and then immediately remove his disability and refuse to do anything with it. And it's like there is an interesting idea there, which Daredevil does. Again, modern Daredevil actually does this really well of playing off his blindness, and I think they could have done that here, but we didn't. But Daredevil was selling, so let's also make him disabled.
Yeah. Yeah.
See it
Oh,
See, Here's the real problem, right? This movie came out in 2007, and it couldn't have competed, even if it was good, because the greatest movie of all time came out in 2007. The Bee Movie came out in 2007. So
Uh,
there's no way it was going to be able to stand up to the pinnacle of script writing that was the Bee Movie.
Sorry, I'm just
yeah.
imagining Stan Lee being like, let's get that guy from that sitcom to act in this. Oh, Jerry Seinfeld, he's doing the B movie, sir. The other sitcom. Oh, that '70s show. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Which at this point had been off the air for years, by the way.
Yeah. That '80s show had already come and gone, I think, at this point.
There was
That
that
80s
80s
show,
show?
It was one season.
there was that 80s show ran during that 70s show for all of half a season. It's also the biggest thing you can see. I know Glenn Howerton is the lead pre It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Um, Chyler Lay's there from like Not Another Teen Movie and Grey's Anatomy. It's so wild. And she's got like an awesome mohawk.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
learning so much about 2000s television that I was too 16 for to pay attention to.
Yeah, that '80s show is one of those really funny shows. It's terrible, don't watch it, but it has this mark of being the first appearance of a load of people who would go on to do better things.
Yeah, it's like Can't Hardly Wait, but not as nice. Not as good.
Actually, while we're on terrible, can I have to bring up the bit of this film that actually made me pause it and get up when I watched it was
Sure.
when Valdez gets his Condor form, which is just a bodysuit. He confronts the villain Taipei, who we haven't revealed yet, in a robot form, and they have a little fight. And it's not very good. But then she goes, "Valdez found himself a skateboarding bodyguard." What? Why would anyone presume that? Like, they keep saying that their thing is that she doesn't know he's the Condor for a while, but they keep doing, oh, he got a skateboarding bodyguard, because those are a thing that apparently exist.
See,
Yeah.
this I think might be a Stan Leeism because for a long time in the comics, Iron Man was seen as Tony Stark's bodyguard. So this feels like a weird little Stan Leeism that kind of got shoehorned in there.
It
Not
does.
not justifying it. Don't think it's
Oh,
good,
no.
but I think that's where it came from.
I think so too. But it's just so funny because like that's not a thing. Like at least like the rich playboy having like a guy in mech suit kind of makes sense, but it specifically being a skate because they always say it hyphenated, like skateboarding bodyguard. Like yes, those things we all see every day in the big city.
Oh yeah, I live in
can't-
New York. I see them all the time.
I can't
Yeah.
move without Bam Margera kicking me in the face.
It would be, let's see, so 2007, that means Underground 2 is out, where that would Tony Hawk's Underground 2 would be out at this point.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's that's the other thing with this is that skate culture at this point has gone full jackass,
Yeah.
and then you have this which it both feels vaguely babies first, and also but it's slightly too mature for that. Because that's a big thing of this. So they put skaters in these headbands that cause their heart to explode. We see one of the guy's hearts explode.
Yeah.
And that was really weird to me because this rest of this film, apart from Valeria constantly making dick jokes, is weirdly toddlerish. Like this feels like Spider-Man animated series kind of stuff. But at the same time, we have this faux edgy heart exploding scene. It's like, okay, who is this aimed at? Not me, that's for certain.
No, I think you're right. I think that this movie ultimately suffers from an identity crisis because again, like we just talked about, like Stripperella and a bunch of the other weird stuff that Stan Lee was doing. It kind of feels like Stan Lee wanted to do more of that, like mature, tongue-in-cheek, like mature in quotation marks kind of stuff. And this was like, well, we got to throw one out for the kids. And I think that I can't prove it. I don't think anybody could. But I feel like this was the kind of thing that transmogrified into being a kids film, but it wasn't initially that.
I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know if Stan Lee actually knows that this thing exists. Like how much was he, frankly, he probably gave some story ideas to like Marv Wolfman and was like, have fun.
He did some interviews about it.
Oh.
Oh, well then he definitely knew about it.
Yeah. So obviously one with DVD talk is that I love it because I think the DVD market is sensational. I love it. Most 2000 sentence ever said. But he also like it's important to be able to come up with something and film it and get it out there to the public right away as a DVD. I'm very high on the DVD business, and I'll tell you what, Stan, get it out to the public right away is what this film feels like.
Yeah.
It's like, should we get Valderrama to re-record something? No, get it out.
Yeah.
I will say
2007 was a weird year.
there is a little sad thing about this film, because this film meant the next film Stan had planned didn't get made. And I will be forever sad it didn't. So this is from TV Guide. So they ask him about sort of his new project, which is manga entertainment. He's like, well, after Mosaic, we have one called The Condor, or El Condor, that features the Latino superhero, because I felt we have a need for more of those. After that, our next one will be Ringo. I was talking to Ringo the other day, and I said, I feel it's my duty to make you more famous. So it's my attempt to make Ringo more famous. He'll kill me when he hears this. And this is an audio.
Ringo Starr?
This is an audio interview as well. So then the interviewer goes, "You're going to make a Beatle more famous?" And then Stanley responds, "Sure, the world doesn't know he's a great adventurer who has saved civilization many times. They will learn that when they see our little DVD. He's going to do the voice and the music." TV guy, it's not going to be anything like Caveman, is it? And then Stanley goes, "No, it's going to be like that movie out now with the 3 singing girls. Dream Girls? Yes. This is like a masculine version of Dreamgirls, only it features just one man."
I would pay cash money to see this movie.
I can tell you, the thing that stopped me with that interview is that Stan sounds bored until Ringo comes up and he just lights up. It's really funny. Like, it's really clear he just wants to talk about Ringo Starr, but doesn't want to talk about Condor.
Huh.
I mean, I can't blame him. Ringo sounds more interesting than Condor.
I would watch the hell out of that. That sounds amazing.
Ringo
and horrible.
Dream Girls.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
K-pop demon, or Ringo.
K-pop Ringo
pop demon hunters.
You remember when Ringo Starr was making all that MS Paint art and selling it for like thousands of dollars?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, to be fair, if they had made that Ringo film, it would have been the first carbon neutral production, because they could have powered it by John Lennon spinning in his grave.
And at that point,
man, that's good. That's clever. But oh man, but we are coming to the end of the episode. So thank the Lord. So my friends, what are your final thoughts?
So we're about to get something better with Mary's vocal talents. Something way better.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that soon.
I'm gonna be honest, I'll tell you a story. When I said earlier we did this push episode back, so I've watched it a few times. The first time I watched it, I was making really negative notes, like, man, now maybe I'm just being unfair to it. So I've just watched Real Folk Blues. Nothing's gonna be as good as Real Folk Blues. Then I came back the next week to rewatch it for the recording, and I was like, nope, I was right the first time. This is just bad. Don't. It's even if you're a Marvel completionist who wants to watch everything Stan Lee ever touched, just watch an interview of him. It's more fun than this. And yeah, you get sort of the better Condor experiences. You watch a Stan Lee talk about Ringo Starr interview and then play Tony Hawk's 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you all know me. You know that I'm the first one to come out and be like, this movie it's bad, but you can watch it. No, it's boring. Like that's the biggest sin. If it's boring, it has no reason to exist. And honestly, if this movie were part of a wider franchise, I would be like, wow, they're about to lose the license and they just have to put something out, because that's kind of how it feels. But yeah, me, the person who likes bad movies, I can't recommend this one to anybody. Just skip it. You're not missing anything. But that's why we're here, to watch the movies that you don't have to.
Yeah.
But that also means that we are pulling into our final destination. That's right. It is time to disembark from Toonami Absolution. We want to thank you once again for joining us and talking about the shows that made us us and the shows that made you you. We have been your hosts. My name is Alyx.
I'm Sam.
And I'm John, who is deeply sorry.
And we'll see you next time. Bang. Sick Ollie, bro.